A special solo presentation of PJ Live both today and tomorrow. I will be by my lonesome for various scheduling reasons. But I'm not going to bore you guys with the details, and we will just jump right into the game here. I don't think there's anywhere I forgot to... Actually, yes, there is. One place. One place I forgot to plug the link that I always do. Let me do that real quick, and then we'll get started with Monolith, which is a very good game that is, much to my chagrin, kind of flying under the radar a little bit. Alrighty. Now that that's done, I think I'm about good here, yeah? Let's check on that. Hello, Shanks? Is that how that's pronounced? I believe that is how that's pronounced. How are you, good sir or madam? Or neither. I'm not gonna try to exclude anybody. Let's get going here. Meow. Wait. Meow. Usually it just says, like, ghostly whale or something. Oh, so if anybody in the chat wants to let me know how, this is already great. How I sound as far as, like, audio mix and such. Because this game is good, it is also a little bit loud, though. Can I buy anything from you? I don't think I can. I think well, there's a couple things that I need to unlock yet are all too expensive right now. So let's just dive into things. Here, hold on. Yeah. Audio seems fine. That's awesome. I think it sounds good. Good. Anyway, so yeah, this is a arena shooter slash roguelike in the vein of something like The Binding of Isaac or Nuclear Throne or Enter the Gungeon or Rush Rover, which I played on the show a few weeks ago. There's a lot of games like this nowadays, actually. I like this one for a couple reasons, but mostly, here, get our first upgrade. Artifact reserves. I'm always pretty fond of the reserves upgrade. The reason I like this one is that it's kind of a bit more, I guess it's sort of more in the Nuclear Throne school of design, and that it's kind of a bit more skill-based. The items are not really super transformative, it's more, you know... Wow, I'm getting demolished already. But, it's more like how well you know enemy patterns and, you know, your general competency at these sorts of things. Same upgrade system as Downwell and Nuclear Throne. Yeah, the only difference is that there's not actually any levels in this game. There's just, you just kind of, you get one of those, one for each floor. There's also a weapons room on each floor. I love Downwell and Nuclear Throne, and then you'll probably enjoy this. They're pretty similar in terms of, how would I put it, sort of how they approach the whole roguelike, but also another genre thing, and Nuclear Throne, again, it's pretty similar to that as well. You also play as this little ship boy, whose name is D13, and he is actually, like, it's not a ship being piloted by somebody, your character is the little metal fellow. It's, I think the developers compared it to... That's weird, the map screen's not working. Huh. Oh, that's because there's a turret in here still. 2 turrets, actually. There we go. It also, swipes that mechanic from Enter the Gungeon, which I'm glad is becoming popular, where you can use the mini-map to just teleport around after you've cleared a room. Eliminates backtracking, which is one of my few frustrations with the Binding of Isaac at this point. Looping is hard, everything goes crazy, and I can't murder cops effectively. Okay, we got a Vulcan, which is the same kind of gun that we start with. Gatling and Consecrated, which is a damage bonus against certain kinds of enemies. And a Revolver, which is kind of a, I don't know what you'd call it, kind of like a chain gun type thing. With Chain Lightning and Anti-Magic, which is a damage bonus against a different kind of enemy. Neither of these are amazing, but I'm going to take the Vulcan. I actually quite like the little pellet gun that you start with. And this is our boss room. You have to shoot this Monolith, like in the title, to trip the boss to spawn. Gungeon is fun, but when I play a roguelike, I don't want to have to use the mouse usually, that's why I prefer Isaac. This one, I feel like the mouse and keyboard works better, but I have played it on controller, and it's perfectly fine there, too, so... I'm aware that I already seem like I'm trying to sell people on the game, and I guess I kind of am, but that's just because, like, other than Rock, Paper, Shotgun, I haven't heard too many people talking about this. Good microphoning. But I think that might be because I feel like this specific subgenre's moment has kind of passed. Because I know there was also, what was it? Hard Cells? Dead Cells, that was it. It came out earlier this year and was apparently also really good, but it didn't really get a ton of coverage either. I think people are kind of over the roguelite trend, which is a little sad for me because I still love these games a lot. And this one especially is really good. And, like, the fact that it's only $8 is just plainly silly to me. You do all this procedurally generated with bosses and, like... I don't think I've played Warning Forever. How do the bosses work in that? One firebomb and increase max ammo slightly. Woohoo. Yeah, the levels are made of, various predetermined rooms stuck together in different ways. Honestly, the roguelike element is not super strong with this one, but I actually don't mind that too much. It mostly comes from, the weapons having their modifiers picked randomly, sort of Diablo style. This is definitely more on the arena shooter side of things. I mean, that genre dates all the way back to, geez, I don't know, Ikari Warriors, probably? And this is a mini-boss. There's a couple of these on each level, and there's more as you go further down, and you have to beat them before you can face the floor's final boss. Warning Forever is an arena shmup where you just fight bosses repeatedly with no levels, and the bosses get bigger and have more weapons based on how you fight them. I think I will need to check that out. That sounds interesting. Unless it's one of those games where the concept is more interesting than the execution. The Nimbus has been broken. Yeah, I like that. I like that message that you get when you defeat a mini-boss. I know it means that you break the seal on the monoliths to fight the end of floor bosses, but I don't know why it's called a Nimbus. There's the occasional translation issue. I believe this team is Portuguese, but for the most part, the game is perfectly comprehensible. The game's pretty fun, though fairly simplistic. Alright. I can do fun, but fairly simplistic. Oh, hold on. There's a little bit of spit on my monitor. I have to wipe it off real quick. There we go. I paused the game because this computer is a touchscreen, and if I try to click outside the window, the game would have paused anyway. Alright, well here's our upgrade terminal for the level. Salvage is not really to my taste. Plating's okay. Focus is okay. I don't know. I guess I'll take plating. I should show off an artifact weapon at some point. That's one of the perks you can pick from the upgrade terminal, and it's interesting because instead of giving you a permanent upgrade like all the other ones do, it spawns 4 weapons with, like, I think 4 or 5 keywords each, which makes them way more powerful than the regular weapons. In fact, I think I might have had that on the first floor terminal, but then I decided to go with something more mundane instead. But I'll see if I can't show that off if it shows up again at some point. Also, unlike Gungeon, you can't actually dash through bullets, or at least you can't without an upgrade. So you gotta be really careful how you use the dash maneuver most of the time. And this is the weapon room over here. What do we got here? A charge and a razor. I actually just unlocked this yesterday evening, and I have not used it yet, so let's see what's up with this. Huh. Okay. So it orbits around me, and I kind of fire them off. I'm pretty sure I'm only firing 3 at a time because I have the triple modifier on this particular one, but it seems interesting. Game described it as an all-around weapon, which seems about correct so far. I'm getting hit an awfully lot. Haha, it's the one gun. Which gun? Let's see here. Actually, I could have gotten the railgun here too, but I almost never buy weapons from shops because you get one for free on each floor. At least one for free. Usually you get to pick. The disc gun like in Super Crate Box Nuclear Throne. Oh yeah. Although this one doesn't seem to be able to come back and hurt you, which I'm pretty thankful for. Oh, this has the infested keyword too, which I didn't even notice. That makes destroyed enemies spawn little blue bullets that home in on other enemies. I don't know how well it's showing up on the screen, but or on the stream, but I actually also have my hitbox set to be visible. It's this little green dot right in the center of the ship. It's a useful thing to know. It's also off by default for some reason, which I don't quite understand. Alrighty. I would like to get that damage upgrade. The little sword icons are the only way you can get permanent damage upgrades in this game, other than the one upgrade from the upgrade terminal. So they are quite valuable, although, given how much damage I'm taking, maybe I could spend my resources elsewhere more wisely. I'm not sure I'm going to play this for the entire stream. I do have other stuff I could run. But definitely, the second I bought this, I thought this would be a great stream game. But I ended up not streaming last week because my personal life was briefly in a complete wreck. And, you know, these things happen. Actually, I should try to find secret rooms. Some rooms are hidden, and you can uncover them by using a bomb. Wait, what? That's the screen cap. Oh. Maybe over here? Like down here, maybe? Oh, there we go. Hey! Another damage increase. Never gonna complain about that. I think this is a mini boss down here. Yeah. If you're confused about anything, do feel free to ask. I'll answer to the best of my knowledge. Although, unlike a lot of the other games I've mentioned so far, I don't think this has a wiki. So, everything's a little bit esoteric at this point. It's unusual for a game that's been out for about 6 months now. Scanner. Here's an artifact. Yeah, and the other two suck, so I'll pick up one from that. You can see each of these weapons has 4 keywords instead of just the one. What's to be confused about? Fire at things until they die. I guess that's a good point. Homing triple phasing. That sounds tempting. A thunderhead. I don't really understand this weapon. It's like a big lightning ball, but it's a little odd. Might try that one out. Pulsar, I'm not super fond of. It's kind of weird to me. And the laser in this game, unfortunately, I'm not really a huge fan of. Well, this one has phasing, which is useful. Phasing means it can go through walls, which most bullets cannot. Do I want the Thunderhead, or do I want the Vulcan? I don't know, do you guys have a preference? She says, hoping somebody will respond. Actually, I should probably take the Thunderhead just so I can practice with it more. Go for the Vulcan? Alright. You do also get a heart every time you salvage an old gun if it still has ammo in it. It sounds cooler? That's fair. Yeah, the Vulcan's actually the name of the default weapon, but obviously the one that you start the game with doesn't have any modifiers on it, so it's not particularly great. This is the Ice Worm, who was one of my favorite bosses from a visual design standpoint, but also one of the more annoying to fight, because he doesn't really have a gimmick, he just spits out lots and lots and lots of bullets. Need to be using my bombs. Like in a shmup, the bombs in this game clear bullets off the screen. There we go. You have enough money for that upgrade thing you wanted. That's true. That's why I always try to remember to go back to shops at the end of the floor, because I never can remember. Do I want the laser bomb? I guess I don't. I guess there's no reason to not pick it up. We left one room unexplored, but that's fine. Now, it would be funny if I ended up beating the final boss, which is something I've only done once before, but I also wouldn't hold your breath. Although, I don't know, maybe this is one of those games that's actually easier when you're kind of not paying 100% attention to it. The little diamond icons, by the way, just give you more money. In fact, I think a lot of the time when you pick one up, it actually flashes the words free money, which is pretty great. I hate these things. I will say the damage output on this thing is absurd. Which is probably got to do with how many damage upgrades I've got, but also, you know, just a little crazy to see that on the pellet gun. Voltaic, stealth's okay. Voltaic is basically useless because electricity doesn't show up super often. Or wait, hold on. I wonder if that also works against the lightning beams that they fire out. I think it's only electricity. There's like some rooms have electric fence kind of things, but if it worked on those attacks also, that would actually make it a good deal better. I should try that out at some point. If you'll notice, one of the things that phasing does is if you shoot it close enough to a wall, it'll actually wrap around to the other side of the screen. Interesting stuff. We should try to replace this gun before it runs out of ammo, much as I am enjoying it. Unless we can find, like, a big ammo pickup somewhere. And the reason we should try to do that before we replace it is so we get the extra heart from salvaging it. Game's got a lot of little interlocking systems. So another damage upgrade. I could buy an ammo recovery thing, but that's not usually worth it. At least not in my experience so far. You can preface basically everything I say about this game with, at least not in my experience so far, because, you know, only been playing it for like a week or two at this point. Let me think. I guess we should go clear out these rooms down here, and then if we don't get an ammo pickup, we'll see about maybe replacing this Vulcan. Unfortunate, actually quite liking this, but most guns in this game end up being temporary affairs. A revolver with finale and anti-magic. That's not anything super amazing. I am going to buy this heart, much as it would rather be buying another damage upgrade. Damage upgrades don't do you much good if you're dead, so, you know. That's the electric fence stuff I was talking about. I guess in that room specifically it would have been pretty useful. Alright, let's see here. Laser with triple and anti-magic, or a sword with quick and Akashic. Well, the sword lets you clear out bullets, so I think I'm gonna go for that. It also does just straight up put like a razor blade on the front of your ship, which is pretty awesome. Maybe I should have gone for the anti-magic one. I'm pretty sure the Ordinator is a spellcaster. Having a fantasy theme for this kind of game is odd. Yeah, there's actually like a, sort of like a kinda interesting little backstory going on. But obviously, as is the norm for these sorts of games, it doesn't show up too much in the game itself. Basically, you are on Earth, like, many years after the decline of humanity, and there's this kind of, like, techno-magic thing going on. Basically what I'm saying is that it's Nier Automata. It's like the Sword and Radiant Silver Gun, at least visually. Yeah, it is, actually, now that I think about it. I mean, it doesn't have the full range of motion, but yeah, it does look a little bit similar, you're right. The sword is probably the hardest weapon to get the hang of, at least of the ones that I have unlocked, which I think is all of them, but I guess you never know. Hey, I actually really needed that, so I'm glad I found that room. I should try to get a new gun pretty much as soon as possible on this next floor. And the Sanctum is the final floor of the game, I think. And I say I think because games like this tend to do the, you know, there's a final boss, but also there's like a secret final boss that you have to go through some steps to face. I have beaten the regular final boss once, but he's not a pushover. Oh, I'm out of gun. I almost said I'm out of gun juice, which I think would have been even worse than what I actually did say, which is just I'm out of gun, while referring to a sword, you know. Okay. Oh boy. Alright. I should really be checking the icons of all the rooms that I go into, because I'm not trying to fight many bosses right now. This thing might well kill me. There we go. Okay. Ooh. Getting all those damage upgrades is really paying off, I'll tell you what. One thing I kind of have mixed opinions on about this game is the heavy use of portals in the level design. It's interesting, but there's a couple rooms, like this one, where I feel like it's more confusing than cool. But, you know, kind of a minor complaint at the end of the day. Also, the portals are blue and orange, so feel free to try to figure out how this game works into the Half-Life universe. No health, which is a real shame. I would like to get that key so we can enter the vault, but I don't have enough money for it right now. This unfortunately isn't like Spelunky where you can just mug the shopkeeper at will. There's another shop over here. Unlock a seal, face death. Spoiler, but this is a bonus boss. We're not going to fight him right now. Sometimes he will actually, like, that's like a whole system. He'll offer you, like, 20% extra damage for half of your health or something ridiculous like that. But, that one is just a boss fight. The blue portals match the blue portals, and the same with the orange ones, so logically... Which is the opposite of portal, so logically the apocalypse that ruined humanity here was a portal gun having its polarity reversed. No, that makes sense. Okay. Everything I say makes sense. That's true. The warp effect is neat with this gun. Yeah, that's the phasing keyword doing its work again. Why did I come in here? Oh, hey, those like exposed wires hurt you, which now that I say it out loud makes perfect sense, but I didn't realize that before these things appeared. I don't know how much longer this run's gonna last for. I don't think I have enough to buy that key yet, do I? No. What's in here? An upgrade terminal. What you got for me? Discount, voltaic, or blink. Actually, I never do this, but I'm actually going to take a discount to see if that'll make the key affordable, and it did. I'm really hoping that there's health in here. There is! By God, we might have a chance. So you've got 2 hits left. Yeah, each heart is one hit. Unlike some similar games, I haven't found anything yet that, like, does, 2 hits worth of damage or anything weird like that. I guess we could fight the boss if we wanted to. And that's to it. Let's go for it. Anybody who takes the correct guess as to what, like, the story origin of this boss is will get a imaginary cookie from yours truly. I doubt we're going to win, but you never know. Now out of bombs and almost out of laser ammunition. Yep, okay. Not an easy fight, I'll tell you what. And you get this little high score screen every time you die, or win. And they give you a slightly different one then. Let's talk to Klein and get some advice about the enemy that we died to. very mysterious and dramatic. And let's see here. We need that seal. I think this, like, is one of the things that you need to get to, like, the true final end, but that's just an educated guess. And we'll unlock a new terminal upgrade, sure. I think other than that, there's just this thing. I don't quite know what's up with that. Meow. Actually, hold on. Before I dive right back into another run, I'm gonna get some more stuff to drink real quick. Alrighty, I'm back. Put my headphones back on real quick here. Actually, if I could trouble somebody in the chat real quick, if you could tell me what the title of the stream is right now, that would be great, because it's two different things on both of my computers right now, which is lovely. Anyway, I am now a real gamer because I have Mountain Dew, which is a soda that I don't even really like that much, but it's what we have. Nice and fizzy, though. Which is, you know, kind of what makes soda, so. Not blowing any minds there, I don't think. Says PG Live Solo Show. Okay, thank you. That's what it's supposed to say, but it still says something else on my other screen. It just didn't update properly, I guess. Alrighty. There was another little interesting mechanic, and all this stuff you kind of have to pick up for yourself. They don't really explain it to you, which is interesting to say the least. But if you pick up a regular heart at full health, it will fill in this little meter up here that kind of look like cards or something. And if you get that all the way to the top, you get an HP upgrade. So if you know what you're doing, you can kind of plan things out and try to get as many hit points as possible. Ooh, 4 weapons, okay. Railgun, another railgun, a thunderhead, and a revolver. Well, the railgun is actually one of my favorite weapons, and we haven't used it yet, so why don't we do that? I'm a big fan of the railguns. Although they're not great against these little ghost enemies. I mean, they are if you can hit them, but the hitting part is the difficult thing there. Fortune is actually really good, but so is Autobomb, so I don't know. I think I'll take Fortune for now, and just kind of hope we get Autobomb again later. Increases max hit points by 1, increases maximum ammo. Adds 2 bombs. You want to try to pick up that, like, turquoise looking stuff that flies off of the enemies if possible. That's actually, it's actually the money that you use to unlock things, both within a run and at the end of between runs, is how a normal person would say what I'm trying to say here. Hey, that's what I like to see. I'm gonna get an ammo increase because, you know, it's nice to be able to stick with your preferred weapons for a little bit longer. Alright, down in the archives. Right, I don't have facing on this one. These are the hardest to kill with this thing, because, like, there we go. That only took, what, like 5 shots to kill a tiny little dot? Ooh, I actually really quite like Blink, and I'm happy with my weapon. So, if you recall earlier, I said that you can't dash through projectiles. This lets you dash through projectiles, which is more useful than you might think. And you might think that it's very useful. I'm telling you, it's like even more useful than that. It's a second level of usefulness on top of the usefulness that you're imagining. And hey, my HP just went up. Thank you, game, for allowing me to look like I actually know what I'm talking about. Okay. Yes. Now, why did I blow this open? I don't... Oh. Huh. Actually, these both seem pretty good. And you know what? I love the fireball weapon. Although shotgun style makes it a little bit worse in my opinion, but... I really like the fireball, so... I think this and the railgun are probably tied for my favorite weapons in the game. Hey, Gogo Otaku, thank you for the resubscription. And praise the sun to you as well. You guys excited for the Dark Souls remaster that's coming out, like, sometime this year, I think? Or maybe next year, I forget when they announced it for. If they've announced a date yet. I'm pretty excited for that because I think that of the 3 games, Dark Souls 3 is kind of the most mechanically solid, so I'm excited to see them, you know, make the first game, but with that. Remaster, so it's the same game again. Yeah, I believe what they're doing, if it's just a re-release, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed, but the term remaster implies that it's, like, being rebuilt in the, to the standards of the third game. I own the first game still on, actually both on Steam and on my Xbox 360, but it's kind of wonky. I don't think it's aged the best. And also, the online scene is a little dead nowadays. Not completely. Certainly not to the extent that the second game's is, but, you know, it's nice. I do hope that FromSoft eventually starts making something else, though. I had heard somebody from a while back that they were like thinking of making some kind of cyberpunk game, but I think that might have been like just like a rumor that was going around as opposed to something that's actually, true. Wow, I've had like 2 sips of this Mountain Dew, and I could really already feel it. There was a lot of caffeine in this stuff, I imagine. I have to drink slowly. I might have to. This is absurd, but I might actually have to go get like a second drink, like just like a cup of water, so I stay hydrated properly. As you all know, playing video games on the internet is very strenuous on your body. They had a teaser. Oh yeah, I remember hearing something about that. Everybody was like, well, that told us absolutely nothing. But then it kind of got overshadowed by the Kojima game. Which I'm not interested in, but I like that the guy can apparently somehow still get an absurd amount of money to put his bizarre digital nightmares to print. You know. If Hideo Kojima can make games and have them be profitable, maybe there's some hope for this world after all. Somebody that still plays Dark Souls. Not sure how to feel about the remaster. And that's fair. It's definitely going to be, like, not that difficult for them to screw it up, so I'm hoping that they don't. But I am the rare person that likes all 3 Dark Souls games about equally. I probably like either 2 or 3 the best, but it's only a very slight preference. The problems with the first game mostly come down to the final couple areas, and some weird stuff with the net code. I didn't like DS3 that much. That's fair. I know a lot of people felt that it was too referential, but I kind of liked that. And the second game obviously kind of does its own thing. I think there's room for all 3 Dark Souls in the Dark Soulses? I don't know. In the gaming universe. What do we got here? Scanner. Yeah, I'll take the reserves. I'm a sucker for the damage. All 3 have their charm. I still like the first one best, though. That's fair. It's kind of a, kind of has like a, I don't know what word you would use, sort of a grittiness to it, almost, that the latter games do not have quite as much of. Not to the degree of something like Kingsfield, obviously, but, you know. Actually, wouldn't that be a curveball if the new project they announced is a sequel to effing Kingsfield? I don't think they would do that. They might not even own the rights to that series anymore, but that would be something. Although, I don't know, people always want more sequels to stuff, and I'm kind of the opinion that I'd rather have something new. That does things in its own manner. Kingsfield is such an amazingly dull name. I actually kind of like it because it sounds like a real place. But I don't even know if that's sort of what they were going for, but I don't know. I'm fond of it. It sounds like a town in England or something. Yes, me and the lads went over to Kingsfield last weekend. I don't know what that accent was supposed to be. Do you know anybody else who laughs this often at their own terrible jokes? Let's see what we got here. As far as I know, Miyazaki wanted to make something new. That sounds like a good thing to me. There's a Nigerian college called Kingsfield, apparently. Well, there you go. College in Nigeria, town in Britain, what's the difference? Hello, Heinz. How are you? Pudding! Which I think that's what this pickup is supposed to be. Or, not pudding, flan. By Flan Taffy Flan. No, it's the ice worm again. I don't think that Fireball does more damage to the ice worm, but it would be kind of cool if it did. Although the corresponding thing there would be to have anything with the freeze keyword do less damage to him, which would be kind of lame. So I don't know. There we go. Got a little tied up at dinner because the place we went to was busy, but got a few drinks. So there is that. Well, I'm glad you're having a good night. Not that I'm not. You know, it's funny. I don't know where this key is. It wasn't in the secret room. It wasn't in any of the regular rooms either. Weird. The bellows. It's also one of only a couple games I have on my little business laptop. It runs really well on it, actually. You never know when you're going to be in the middle of, you know, some kind of important meeting, college course. You need to shoot some things up as a laser-equipped shit boy. Actually, the thing with the ship being the character as opposed to a thing that is piloted by somebody kind of reminds me a little bit of Twinbee and Fantasy Zone for the NES, both of which had a similar conceit. Doing pretty well so far, I say, hoping I'm not going to jinx it. Should probably replace this gun soon, though. We're running low on ammo. Yeah, let's pop over to the weapons room. What you got? A razor with chain, lightning, and lance. That's a new one. That must be exclusive to that weapon. And a fireball. Well, this is basically the same thing we have now. Sure. Lance? Look at that! Okay, I guess I can, like, use this as a melee weapon, kind of, if I'm so inclined. Pardon me. Sorry about the incessant coughing that's plagued both me and the show for, like, the past couple of weeks. It's just because it's that time of year up here. Oh yeah, look at that, you can totally use it as a melee weapon. Does still use ammo, unfortunately. And I assume you can use the regular ones as melee weapons too, albeit much more dangerous melee weapons. At least for you, the wielder. I'm gonna take that, and I might take that heart also if I can't find one somewhere. Oh my. Alright. That didn't go quite as well as I had hoped it would. Let's fight the mini boss up here. Actually, can I just like just kind of do one of these? Doesn't seem to actually be killing him too much faster, unfortunately. There we go. Oh, this has chain lightning too. I completely glossed over that. Though, unfortunately, chain lightning is kind of one of the less impressive elemental things. These are more weapons. 2 fireballs with shrapnel. Not really a super useful keyword in my experience. Is this a rag out like? What's rag out? I want to play a game called Rag Out. Oh wait, did you mean to ask if it was a roguelike? I'm sorry. I wasn't making fun of you. I just legitimately, you know, lapse of comprehension. Yeah, there's procedural generation and there's permadeath, so I suppose it is a roguelike. Oh, no, you actually were talking about a game called pronounced Ragu. That's interesting. I'm not familiar with that. So I cannot really comment. I think I like the razors. It's an interesting weapon, if nothing else. We're doing so well. And then I had to mention that we were doing so well, and now we're doing terribly. Coincidence? Probably, but you know. Okay. What am I doing? Just shoot them. Trying to get too fancy with it. What I should instead be doing is getting jiggy with it. Work for Will Smith. It's a food and it sounds similar to Rogue, but if you squint your ears a bit, it's a very bad joke. That's okay. This channel is basically bad jokes strung together over the course of 2 to 3 hours. Oh god, it's the firewall. This is one of my least favorite bosses to fight. It's really, really difficult. And on only 2 HP, I don't know. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Well, these things happen. Alrighty. Well, I will be right back. I have to use the restroom real quick. Would like to take this time to remind you that if you'd like to, you may follow the channel so you get notifications when I go live. And if you would like to support the channel, you can subscribe either with your own funding or with a Twitch Prime subscription. I will be right back. Please enjoy this little graphic of D13 enjoying a cup of... I'm gonna say that's hot chocolate. This chocolate appears to be on fire. Well, he's a ship. He can handle it. And yes, D13 is definitely a friend. No, this is actually the bestiary. I meant to talk to this guy. There's sometimes little NPCs up here. This one just kind of skirts around the screen. I don't know what his deal is, really. And sorry that took a little bit. I had to go yell at my younger siblings who are home this weekend because their dad's out of town. It's currently like 35 degrees outside, and they're in there with the air conditioning on. Kids. Not the air conditioning, a fan, but still. We'll probably play a few more rounds of this, and maybe I'll fire up something else then afterwards. I have a couple ideas. I don't quite know which one I'd be most inclined to do yet. Take that, as it improves our default weapon, which we are still using. I wonder if that improves other Vulcans as well, or just the one that you start with. Also, there's something really, like, funny to me about this little pea shooter being called the Vulcan Cannon. What do we got in terms of weapon selection? Charge with Consecrated and Infected, and another Vulcan with Chain Lightning and Burst. I don't think I've ever used a Vulcan with Burst. Let's see how that works. It kinda just... Oh, you know what it's doing? It's shooting 3 shots every time I shoot. That's interesting. Or, is that 3? No, that's 4, I think. Not gonna waste any more ammo trying to find out for 100% certain, with 100% certainty, but, that's pretty neat. It's got Chain Lightning, too, which, even though it's probably the weakest of the, or, well, I guess there's really only 2, so the weaker of the elemental modifiers, it's still, like, not too bad. It's got its uses. Helps you take out popcorn enemies. And yeah, D13 is a very cute ship. I'm also not entirely sure how big he's supposed to be. Like, that's something that has, like, haunted my mind since I started playing this. Railgun with Consecrated and Infested with Ricochet and Homing. That seems really good. Yeah. Sorry, but I definitely would like the one that homes and then also fires off walls. Okay, well, occasionally it does that instead, so that's not great, but... I did like that Vulcan, but I find railguns with homing hard to pass up. Makes the lasers really good, too. There's really not any bad weapons in this game. I'm not a huge fan of the burster, or the... No, not the burst, what's it called? The charge weapon, but even that's fine, just not to my liking. Really seems to be more of a playstyle thing than anything else. Pardon me. The Guardian. I hate this boss. Okay. That went better than it usually does. Usually I get hammer stomped about 8 or 9 times. Exaggerating, but only a little bit. Hey. What do we got here? Increases max ammo. Well, I'm happy with that. How you guys doing? Out there in the Twitchiverse, the Twitch universe, Twitchland, the Twitch of the Twist? I don't know. We're only an hour in, and my commentary has already devolved into babbling. Gain 20% extra damage and lose half your hit points. Screw it. I'm a sucker, what can I say? There's a game. Yes, I think I might have even made that comparison earlier. I'm actually a pretty big fan of the one Twinbee game that I've played, which is the one for the Super Nintendo that I now can't remember the name of, but it's a good little game. Is it for the Super? It's for one of those consoles, I don't know. It was a home port, that much I know. But yeah, I think this might kind of draw some inspiration from that in terms of the character design, but I'm not 100% sure. One of the ships is called Winby, and it's pink, and I love it. I think there might be other ships in this game as well, but I'm not 100% sure. I say that because if you ask Klein, who was the cat man back in the in-between runs room, for gossip, one of the things we will sometimes say is that he thought he saw somebody who looked like you in the dungeon earlier. So I think there might be a way to unlock, like, other ships. I'm just not 100% sure yet. I have to imagine that it has something to do with getting all of the seals. Yeah. Okay, here's the gun room in case we need one after we fight the boss. Let's go. It's the Behemoth, which is a tank. There we go. The railgun really does a number on bosses. I love it. Actually, I'm gonna go blow this up just so we can get some money, because it gives off a couple, like a little bit of the currency, which is called debris for some reason. No. And neither of these are better than the gun that we've got, so we will stick with the rail cannon. That hit that I just took hurts my soul. I don't know where the secret room is here. Oh well. Actually, did you have anything I wanted to buy? No, okay. I hate these enemies because they're not even mini-bosses. Those can just show up anywhere. Goodness, I am getting a little bit desperate here, if you couldn't tell. Trading away max HP for immediate HP is not usually the best long-term strategy, but I'm also getting hit a lot, so, you know. It's not like you can't earn it back, I just gotta play better. Seriously though, I'm sure you guys can see what I mean about the homing on the railgun. It rips through, like, everything. Except sometimes when it does that instead. There we go. That's weird. Wonder why I was doing that. I don't know what's going on with these portals. Got these 3 magic men. He's a mini boss. Okay. And there we go. The Covers all ammo. Oh, that's right, we only have 6 maximum HP right now. Usually, mini bosses drop a heart, but if your health is full, they will drop an ammo recovery pickup instead. Let's see what we got here. Artifact. I guess this is second wind, yeah. Well, I'm actually pretty happy with my weapon, so I guess we will take focus. I don't think second wind really helps us as far as having low max HP. It's more if you've got low but like a high maximum, then it'll probably help you out a bit more, but that's not the situation we find ourselves in at the present moment. I think maybe after this round I will switch over to something else. If I can get it to record properly, I discovered last night that there is a pretty thorough source port of an old FPS game called Blood, which, yes, really, just the word Blood. That runs in the Duke 32 engine, and I would like to play some of that on stream because I like old first-person shooters. I played a tiny little bit of it last night, but I do mean like the first part of the first level and not anything else. So probably around 10:30 my time we'll switch over. Oh right, the Devourer comes in from the side. I knew that. I'm dumb. This is one of my favorite bosses in the game. Hard, but you'll see why. Yeah, some R-Type stuff. Was R-Type the one that did this kind of thing? I'm thinking of a different franchise, I think. Okay, what do we got here? Fortune would be hugely useful right now, so we're gonna take that. These are the rooms that I actually quite like what they do with the portals. Because it's more just like a way to make the room kind of give an extra dynamic. Tried to say dynamic and dimension at the same time. Didn't quite work out. This is a gambling parlor. But yeah, they give a extra dynamic to the room without really making it too complicated. I think we're going to try to gamble a little bit, because he might cough up some hearts if we win enough times. Of course, if we just keep losing, then there we go. Then we will just lose all our money. Well, that didn't quite go as well as I would have liked. Probably should have scoured the floor first to see if there were other shops around that I could have spent my money a bit more reliably at, but hey, buyer's remorse, am I right? Or gambler's remorse? I don't know. That's probably a term someone's used before. Although if you're regretting gambling frequently, you probably have a gambling problem, in which case you should see somebody. But, you know. But that's none of my business. Alright. Okay. Well, let's hope whoever it is... Oh god, it's the reactor. Okay. I've only fought this boss very occasionally, and I don't understand this one thing that it does sometimes. I guess we will, I guess we'll see if it does it. That's this attack where it, puts lightning across what looks like the entire screen. I don't know how to dodge it. I'm not talking about that one, because I know what you're supposed to do there. So it's looking like it's possible it just won't come up. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's cool. It actually, like, its head exploded. That's pretty gnarly. Yes, I just said gnarly. Get over it. I'm a millennial. Our slang is a grab bag of the past 100 years of popular lexicon. Can I buy those? I totally can. Hopefully there's something good in here. Oh, there's actually quite a few things in here that I would call good. Yeah. Hooray for leaving the floor better though. No comment. I don't know what I'm exploring for really right now. Misanthropy, only 90s kids will remember. I don't really want to replace my gun because I'm attributing a lot of my success right now to the fact that the railgun with homing is just really, really solid, but we are running out of ammo. Or rather, we're going to run out of ammo eventually. Like, I don't know. This room I kind of don't understand because it just kind of takes care of itself if you just hang out at the top for a second, but, you know, whatever. But, I kind of want to future-proof this run a little bit, but I don't know what we could get at this point that I would consider a worthwhile replacement to the gun we've got now. I guess we could just buy some ammo. I don't usually like doing that, but with a run that's hanging in the balance in the specific way that this one is, it might not be a terrible investment, honestly. Trying to think of what game the Devourer boss fight reminds me of. For me, it reminded me a lot of the Wall of Flesh from Terraria. They look pretty similar, if you ask me. Abadox on the NES. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Although I do have a full NES ROM set, so I can check that out sometime pretty easily. In fact, maybe I'll do that after the stream. Got boxed into a corner there. Yes. The Thunderhead. Align. I don't understand the usefulness of the align keyword. I don't really feel like I get it. Makes the string of the weapon move along with you when you move, which completely throws off how the aiming in the game normally works. And we might die here. Okay, no. We were saved. A scrolling shooter with enemies and stages that are like body themed, so floating eyeballs and stuff. Okay. Like a bit like the like reskin of Salamander they did for North America, Life Force. They like made everything kind of body themed and Lovecraftian a little bit. There's also X Multiply, and we're dead. X Multiply, I think it was called, was kind of like that too. You had this ship, you could like anchor your turrets to different parts of the screen, and they would fire along with you. Interesting little game. Alright. What do you have to say about this thing? Rip. Yeah. What do we got here? 7,500. That's not enough to buy anything. Alright. I'm gonna go get another drink and such real quick. When I return, we'll fire up Blood. Because every good live stream needs a healthy dose of 90s FPS ridiculousness. I'll be right back. I have returned. So while I was up, I had a thought, a revelation even. So what I usually do for the VODs for PJ live streams is I just put the date, and then unlike the Shapes and Forms things where I give them some kind of catchy title, I just put the games that I played separated by a slash in the title. And I came to the realization that that means that this one is going to be called Monolith Blood, which to me it sounds like a great name for like a hardcore techno act, and I might actually use that at some point. So, something for you to consider. Play Blood. Yes. This particular edition is called cross-matching. I don't know why or what that means. I'm gonna play at an 800 by 600. Yeah. It should work. This game's pretty loud, I think, so I'm gonna want to turn it down. No, that's the thing where it monopolizes your mouse. How irritating. Oh, it's already turned down. Okay. And hey, this is actually by a company called Monolith Productions. That's... Huh. Why does the screen look so dim right now? That's weird. Whatever. Anyway, let me capture this window here. Aim capture. Blood. There we go. Look at that title screen. Doesn't that just scream 90s aesthetic? Yeah. Alright, let me make sure that I have the controls set up okay. This might take a second, because yesterday I kind of just did the basics. No, I don't want turn left. I don't really want these mapped to anything, to be honest with you. I don't... strafe... Open... Run key? Really? You need a run key in a first-person shooter? Yeah, I'll be using that. I mean, I know, like, nowadays, FPS protagonists tend to move kind of slowly. It makes more sense. But, like, back in the day, nah. You're wondering why I'm just mapping these to random buttons? It's because I'm never going to use them. Inventory, keypad, enter, that seems fine. That seems fine as well. I think I need, like... No, actually, never mind. I can change the weapons with the mouse wheel. That seems fine. There's also no sound in the menu for some reason, which is really weird. Let's get started, shall we? The Way of All Flesh. What a great name for the first chapter of this game. Alright. Looks to be running smoothly. There's like a bat in here. Let's see if that's recording okay. And let me guys know how the sound sounds on your end. Because Caleb, which I believe that's the guy's name. It's Caleb, the protagonist. He's one of those chatty, like chatty FPS protagonists from the East, kind of like Duke Nukem, but in a horror movie. This is the 3D realm.
Strangers in the night, exchanging glances.
Did he just sing part of Strangers in the Night? That happened. This is the 3D Realms game that Monolith finished, so 3D Realms could finish. Shadow Warrior and Monolith ended up making a really good game. Yeah, I've never played this before, other than the little bit that I played yesterday to make sure it worked. But it is apparently quite well regarded. Whoa. Hey. You're really gonna do the whole, enemy gets back up as soon as you kill it thing on the first enemy in the game? Is it dead now? I'm not actually entirely sure how to check. Also, I love the use of a hay baling fork as the melee weapon. Quake guy's got an axe, Doom guy's got his chainsaw, Duke has his foot, this guy's got a pitchfork. He is here to review music and have terrible opinions about Migos. This actually seems like it's lagging a little bit. I don't know. Not lagging, like stuttering maybe. It actually seems fine on the stream, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, because I don't trust these to not rise up and attack me. I guess all the zombies do that. That's a little bit frustrating. Alright. Okay. And this is where I started having trouble yesterday. There we go. 69 health. You drop something though, don't you? Yeah, skull key. I don't know what that's for, but...
Open for business.
Sure, it has some use. Welcome to the Morningside Funeral Hall. Funeral home, sorry. Before it gave my favorite Oliver album a 2.6, I am forever salt. It's one of those things, like, I feel like some of the critics that Pitchfork has are really good, others are actually terrible. Sheldon Pierce is maybe my least favorite music critic alive. Come on. Yeah. This is about where I stopped yesterday because I kept dying to the guy in here who's got a gun. Also, I don't know what these people are supposed to be saying. To me, it sounds like vaguely, maybe Arabic nonsense. I don't know what the story is behind these guys, honestly. Where am I being shot from? What the heck? I am getting shot, or at least I was. In loving memory. Oh, there's a guy up there. Okay. God, could you imagine trying to pull this off with keyboard controls exclusively? The game's actually set up with mouse look turned off by default, which is crazy. I mean, the game's old, but the source port came out in like 2016. Oh, what? What? Huh. Oh no, you're gonna make me fight rats? Seriously? These are not hard to kill. Can I like go in here? Picked up flares and found a secret. Cool. I'm gonna save here. Yes. Yes, that's fine. Where am I headed? This is seriously the map icon for the player characters, just like a 3D, or not like a sprite of him. Boy, I tell you, this is something else. Maybe I need to like, oh, what the heck? That's interesting. Maybe I need to like jump up here. Oh, that's exactly what I need to do. I didn't think it would be that easy. I don't know why I didn't, but that's good. It means there's some verticality in these levels. Oop. It's actually surprisingly tense for something this old and for something where the zombie enemies yell brains when they run at you. Oop. That'll learn you. Oh wow, there's a lot of these. Okay. 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 Ooh, listen to the sound. Quite like that, actually. That's nice. I wonder if I can blow this up. Look at that crack. That's conspicuous. Let's drop some dynamite over here, shall we? If I can do it without blowing myself up, that is. Hey, I was right. Picked up body armor. Hey, where'd the UI go? Where'd the... Hold on. Display setup. Status bar. New... What in the world? Where'd the thing go? We try saving and loading again, maybe? Yeah. Load. Yes. No, it's like 100% gone. It's gone here now, too. Well, that's a fascinating... I'm gonna assume that's not supposed to do that, so I'll say bug. Parental lock? Equip pickups? No, don't do that. Online updates. Auto aim, regular. Like... Seriously, what the heck? Setup. Whoa! That actually reopened the window. Preload map textures on disk texture cache. None of this has anything to do with what I'm looking for. Although I did somehow just accidentally make the game run way smoother. But, Okay, well, guess I'm going through this without the benefit of a UI then. That's interesting. I can't imagine that's on purpose. I'm just watching, because I know sometimes when a game reloads the window, the computer decides to, or the OBS rather, decides to, like, not capture it then. I assume that this barrel, yeah, it says TNT on it. Barrels explode in video games, usually. Or they have loot inside them. One or the other. Alright. Can I turn this on and off? I can't. Ooh, flickering. How atmospheric. This is where we were before.
I need a key.
A key for that, okay. Really quite annoyed about the UI just effing vanishing, but, you know. Come on. Trying to bait the rats through this door so I can kill them first, but it doesn't seem to be working too well. I'm also not sure what blew up earlier. Maybe the fire extinguisher? Let's do an experiment. No, maybe the booze? Huh. Alright, well... I don't even know how much health I have because I can't see it. I'm hoping this will give me something, and it's just probably not going to.
Out, damn spot.
Clever. You see, he referenced a Shakespeare play. That's how you know he's a man of culture. Nice, nice texture overlap. What's this? Picked up the dagger key. Okay, I guess that's for the door from earlier. God, this is 90s. I don't want to touch these barrels. I'm afraid they might blow up in my face. You know, this game seems fine, but I'm thinking I might actually go back to Monolith in a bit. You know. Not everything can be a 10 out of 10 stream game. We'll see how this goes, though. Maybe it'll, you know, develop a little bit better than I'm expecting it to. Yes, I know. Trust me, I'm aware to the extent with which you like brains. Seriously. Oh god, you can kick it around like a soccer ball. That's just gross. Hit the switch to end the level? What switch? What is... What? What switch, though? Oh, probably that switch. Classy. Honestly, like, this game seems decent, but maybe not the best idea for a stream game I've ever had. So... Actually, you know what? Why don't I show off something a little bit unusual, provided I can get it to capture. Let's see here. I believe I left this in my folder that I put Indie Bazaar stuff in. Yes, here it is. I like unusual, then you'll like this. Maybe a bit more of like an interactive art installation than a game, but this will this capture? Wow, that's loud. I'd like to be able to move the window a bit more than I am, but it doesn't seem to be showing up. Let's try a window capture instead. Although now it looks like it's showing up. Huh. Because it's showing up on my stream preview, but not the actual stream. Oh, there we go. Okay, never mind. I need to give it a second. Anyway, this is Forest Egg. And this is a, well, really, I don't entirely know what you'd call this. It's just kind of a little interactive, like, space where you can walk around and look at these, like, recontextualized pictures, most of which are quite low resolution. I believe the person who made this said they got a lot of these just by, like, going through Tumblr and stuff. There's also no collision detection whatsoever for the most part. And your character moves quite slowly. There's some weird, like, I don't know what's going on here. I can see that down there through this picture for some reason. That's weird. As was apparently made as part of a contest. I guess this is like an entire sort of mini subgenre within the, interactive narrative game genre, or environmental narrative game genre. What do we have over here? But, I guess the idea behind used to watch indie impressions. Hold on, I'm actually going to turn this down a little bit because I'm not entirely sure I'm audible over those loud chimes. I used to watch indie impressions daily. I mean it when I say I like unusual. I did too. In fact, Indie Bazaar was kind of me trying to do that also, but finding those weird little games that Nick used to cover, like this sort of thing, is harder than it seems. But, in fact, Go-Go, if you remember when he covered, Fantastic Game, which is a weird, like, bad on purpose, ironic game with, some giant eggs that play Smash Mouth's All-Star when you get near them, among many other weird things. That is what the contest that this game was made for was trying to emulate. And I guess this person decided instead what they would do is try to make something that's more sort of genuine and just kind of relaxing and beautiful. And hey, look at this picture of Merlin, and you know. Actually, I'd wanted to cover this on Indie Bazaar as well, but I haven't really been in the mood to do those lately. A lot of stuff going on, and honestly, I see very little from those videos. I mean, I like doing them because I feel like good games should get exposure, but at the same time, I don't really get anything out of them usually in terms of, making any money or anything. Usually, they don't even get very many views. Not that I'm trying to complain too much, it's just, that's why I don't do them as much anymore. Well, this is just lovely. It's the secret Aslan. I dig it. There's not really like a point to this game, at least as far as I know. You just kind of look around at stuff, which I can get behind. And then, like I said, after this, we'll go back to Monolith. Also, some of the models don't, quite work 100%. You got this going on here. I don't know what causes that, but... Forsooth. Here's the frog being knighted. I've actually seen this picture around before. This one's, kind of transparent until you get close to it. And there's a bunch of skulls out here. I think this probably marks the edge of the map. Yeah. Those are candles, okay. Ooh, what have we here? Oh, these are actually, hanging on here. They're not just, well, they are just pictures, but there's, some actual depth to them. Look at that. That's really cool. It's a spooby forest. Yeah, basically. Let's try climbing up. Can I not go any higher than this? I don't seem to be able to jump beyond this mountain, this ridge. Maybe this is the ceiling? Didn't really realize this was a kind of game where... Oh, there's totally a ceiling right there. Look at that. And it's a one-way ceiling, because I can definitely go down there from up here. That's really weird. Man, Unity is a mysterious beast. Look at that, though. You can see everything from up here. Well, mostly. Ooh, I want to get over there. What if I can just, Nerp. Nerp. There we go. Now we're trucking. Weem away. Weem away. Weem away. Oh wait, I think I was over there already. That's my mistake. Let's go to the greenhouse instead. I like that they put the picture here, and then they put the model that was inspired by the picture right behind it, so you can kind of look and compare a little bit. Can you actually go in here? This might actually have collision detection. Look at that. And you can jump through the windows back out. That's neat. I don't know, I've always liked these weird little, just like digital spaces. I kind of wish there were more of them. You don't get a lot like this. And when you do, they're usually not this well curated. Would that be the right word? I don't even really know. Like I said, oh, there's a zoom function. That's pointless, but, you know, cool. What are you? Never mind, I decided it's not pointless, because it means I can emphasize things. Let's try climbing up here. Looks like there might be something up here. Or are all these rocks just, like, intangible ghost rocks? Intangible Ghost Rocks, another great band name, if you're still looking for one of those. Not just a ghost rock. What is this doing to my character's field of view? I think Nick spent a lot of time searching out those games on itch and indie, Reddit, and so on. Yeah, they don't tend to get a ton of coverage. I mean, even on itch.io anymore, this kind of thing tends to get buried by more conventional stuff, which the more conventional stuff can also be great, but, like, I don't know. Starting to kind of get freaked out up here. Reminded of those trees from that one SCP. We can go somewhere else. What's down here? I think this might just be like a ridge that was put here by, you know, whatever technique or algorithm or both that they used to make this land mass that the game takes place on. Well, there's Hidden Aslan again. Is there anything else? There's probably a reason why he stopped. Yeah. I mean, there have only been, what, 2 new Indie Impressions episodes in the past 2 years. I'm a little sad about that. He does do his streams now, and it's pretty much the same thing, but I don't know. I liked the series being on YouTube as well. Because when he does it on stream, a lot of the people... And I'm blessed to have a comment section that is not this obnoxious, but a lot of people will kind of just trash on anything that doesn't fit their specific ideals of what a game should be like, which is something you would probably not expect from that particular fan base, but it does still happen. Just a stork smoking a pipe. Not to knock the streams, but it's not really the same. Yeah, I like his streams too, and he said the same thing, but there is a bit of a different energy there. Honestly, I'm happy for him because it seems like he's found more success, like, or at least like marginally more success doing that kind of thing, you know, as opposed to the Indie Impression series on YouTube per se. So, you know, whatever works for him. That's really neato, and you spelled it like the Dark Souls boss. I see. I see what you did there, Cody. This is like coral or something. I do kind of wish you could go underwater, but it's just a solid surface. If I could walk on water, if I could tell you what's next. I like these stairs. I would love to see a version of this that's just like 10 times the size. Otherwise, the same thing, but just way bigger. I think that would be really cool. That would probably require, like, some collaborative work, though. I think that's maybe, well, not necessarily beyond the scope of one person, but beyond the reasonable scope of one person, if you know what I'm getting at. I think we kind of might have seen everything there is to see. Although I actually found this via rock paper shotgun, and I remember the article saying that there was like a hidden area you could get to. How you get to that area? Oh, maybe this is it over here. Let's hike up and see. No, this is just a flat plain. Well, I don't know. You guys say we take the dive? I might not have a choice. I might end up. Wait, hey. You all see that? How do I get to you? Well, not this way, probably. It's like some chess pieces or something? Huh. But yeah, I don't think this game actually has like a restart function. So now I'm just kind of floating in the sky endlessly. This also happened the one time I streamed Twin Peak. Or not Twin Peaks, Off Peak. Twin Peak. Something very different, obviously. Well, you guys can look at the sky while I go use the bathroom quick, and I will be right back. And then we will get back to Monolith. Okay and okay. Let's close Forest Egg. We'll get back to Monolith in just a moment. Anybody? The city of Los Angeles is now hiring graphics. Alright. Let's pop open Monolith again. That's Half-Life 2 Deathmatch. Why is that the thing that it defaulted to when I went back to Steam? Game that I have literally never played. I have, of course, played regular Half-Life 2, but the multiplayer thing that's like technically a separate game for reasons I have never played. Alrighty. What you got to say, Skeleton Man? True. Let's go uncover more mysteries by shooting them in the face. Because isn't that what playing video games is really all about? Yeah. What do we got in terms of weapons? Laser with quick charge and infested, and a revolver with piercing and ricochet. I don't think I've actually used the revolver yet, but a quick laser with infested is a little bit too good for me to pass up. Take reserves. I'm a sucker for the simple damage upgrade. Keys. Yes, that was a freaking Code Ment reference. One of the most brilliant lines, all of Britannia. Keys. It's now gotten to the part of the night where I'm just like talking to myself about nothing, which is kind of what this show always is, but it just becomes more obvious than usual at this point. Can I get this without... Okay. Pickup box is larger than the hitbox. Good to know. Okay, we do have the key for that. What you got? Oh, it's actually quite useful. Normally not so much on the first floor, but we've been doing badly enough that, yeah, please do give me the HP boost. That's the Guardian again. I hate this guy. Tell you why. I think he thinks he's better than everybody else. Always shooting bullets with his bullet hammer and drinking his bullet hipster coffee. Hello, Adric the Psycho. How are you? You're from the thing. You're the guy that invited me to, the one server that I'm now blanking on the name of, that I joined. yesterday. Yes, and you are from TV Tropes as well. Hello. Welcome. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't do that on purpose. I just didn't know. That's my mistake. I will be more considerate in the future. No, I know. It's just I always get self-conscious about that kind of thing because I don't like to accidentally misgender anybody. For reasons that are probably obvious to long-time viewers. Let me see here. Don't really need second wind. I'll take fortune. But yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, we're playing Monolith, which is a game where you shoot phantoms in the face as a spaceship. Be going for like another hour yet, probably. Maybe a little bit less, but probably not more than 5 minutes or so. Do I want? I guess I should try to pick up a new weapon. What you got for me? Railgun, quick charge, and a thunderhead. Yeah, sure. I don't think I've actually used the thunderhead on this show today. I'd like to show it off at some point. Jeez. Bumpers are such simple enemies, and they're responsible for far more of my being hit than you'd think. Okay. Yeah. I swear those, like, bird mask enemies look like something, but I can't think of what off the top of my head. Like the enemy robot thing from the first episode of Evangelion, maybe? Like its face? Maybe I'm way off the mark there. It's been a while since I saw that. Never did finish that show. Hey. Okay. Let's fight our boss then, shall we? Hold on, I need to pull myself closer to the table real quick. 1 second. Aldrich, your username is blue on one of my monitors and orange on the other. You got a little bit of a Dutch flag thing going on. Some doom-looking so-and-so. Thought I had changed my username on you for some reason. Sometimes, like, I don't know, Twitch is... I don't think it actually lets you change your account name anymore. I think it used to, but... I don't know. It's weird. I don't know why they care. It should be like Discord, where you've got an account name and then a display name that you can change whenever you like. I already found the secret room, so yeah, let's get down to the third. Third floor? Fourth floor. Third floor. hit the point of the stream where I'm starting to get tired. I'm losing track of things. Mostly because this username was a remnant of when I was an edgy 17-year-old. But mostly by Dr. Gonzo now. Oh, okay, actually, this is embarrassing. I actually didn't realize that you and Dr. Gonzo on the server were the same person. I will try to remember to call you Gonzo or something in that vein. Do the best of my ability. I don't like to, you know, be rude to people. What do you got for me? A sword. And a Vulcan with split and chain lightning. Alright, take the sword so I can... How many other people have an avatar of Genesis era Peter Gabriel? That's a good point. Just didn't make the connection, I guess. Yeah. In my case, I wouldn't blame you for not knowing, since TV Tropes is actually one of the few people, or few places where I don't go by some variant of PJ anymore. Or yet. I don't know what tends to use there. Because my account was recent, but also after I started going by PJ or Planet Chain most places. If you go down to the Willow Farm to look for butterflies, flutterbys, and gutterflies, open your eyes. That's very true. You can change your account settings. You can change your account name by going to your profile settings, and to the right of your account name should be a button that says edit. Really? I never knew that. Also, Gogo, you're the only person in chat today who doesn't have a different colored username on both of my monitors. Yours is pink on both of them. That's odd. Actually, wait, no, I'm lying. Heinz, you're like a sort of a ruddy reddish-brown color on both of mine as well. I thought yours was different, but I am mistaken. Eggs and bacon. Let's see what we got here. Discount, plating, and extra power. Both of all three of these are really not amazing. I guess I'll go with plating in the hopes that we'll come across some more HP at some point, but I think this run might kind of be over before we even really get into the swing of things. Well, like, third floor is not too bad. Prime users can set a persistent color. That makes sense. You know, Prime users can also subscribe to my Twitch channel free of charge if they haven't subscribed to anybody else with their Prime subscription yet. I'm sorry, I don't normally do that, but you kind of threw me that one, Go-Go. Usually only mention it occasionally between breaks or at the end of the show. Because I'm quite wary of being annoying about it. I'm already subbed to you, though. Yeah, I know. It kind of doesn't even work as a joke, does it? In fact, you subscribed earlier today. I think I thanked you for that, did I? Oh, if I didn't, I'll thank you now. I apologize if I didn't. My sub was gone for some reason, but it's back now. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think you have to, like, manually renew it at the end of each period of time. It's not a month, it's like in the middle of a month for some unfathomable reason. Well, I guess it is like a month, but it's a month from when you first subscribed or something like that. I don't really remember. I should look this stuff up, to be honest with you. But yeah, you might be able to set it to auto-renew, but to be honest with you, I wouldn't expect anybody to do that for me. That seems like a hassle. Auto-renew anything is a hassle. My mom's got auto-renew on our, like, Netflix and Hulu accounts, and it causes problems all the time. What do we got here? 2 HP, give it to me. Sword, I don't really... sword ammo I don't really care about. Let's go fight whoever's in here. It's the Ice Worm again. I feel like we fought this guy like 4 times today. Am I wrong? You're thinking that we could be something for real? You can't auto-renew Prime subs. Honestly, that's probably for the better. I know you can auto-renew Prime itself via Amazon Prime, but that really seems less of a convenient feature and more of a way to prey on people who are forgetful, but maybe I'm just overly cynical. I'm out of bombs, too. This isn't good. Yep, there we go. Alright, well, I guess we'll try again. That one was not the best run I've had today, certainly. Alrighty. I don't think you can use auto-renew for Amazon Prime. I think you have to cancel it. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think it, like, unless you cancel it, it will automatically renew. New color, who dis? Yeah, you're like a... what would I call that color? It's kind of like a turquoise, maybe? Or a sort of a seafoam green? This is going to be so pointless and confusing to anybody watching the VOD. If you are watching the VOD, I'm sorry. That's okay, though. Who watches VODs, right? What even is a VOD? Sounds like a myth, if you ask me. All shiny. It's the closest to that super obnoxious green I can get right now. Planet Glumph is certainly a thing. But, yeah. Actually had a couple new people come in today. That's a nice feeling. Because sometimes it'll go for like 2 or 3 weeks in a row where we won't get anybody new in, and that's always a little bit, the tiniest bit disheartening. But once I'm moved out to Chicago and can devote a bit more time to doing this kind of thing, it'll probably be less of an issue. Ugh. Wow, I yawned so hard my headphones fell off. Stealth, focus, or salvage? You know what? I never take salvage. Let's take salvage. We'll try to switch our weapons pretty frequently. You're moving? Not like super soon. I'm trying to... The plan is to move out to Chicago with CC by the end of the year at the latest. So, you know, when I moved out there, we've got all our stuff set up. We'll be able to do this a bit more often. Although I obviously will have a job by then. At least hopefully I will. So, I don't know. Maybe even like not more time would be the right way to put it. It's just like a more flexible streaming schedule. Because right now I can really only do it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And even Sunday I don't really like doing. Because I don't like streaming when the kids are home. Today I have to, because they're with us all weekend, and I really couldn't afford to miss another week of streaming. But... yeah. Kind of limits my streaming options to just the Saturday Shapes and Forms streams, and then... or Friday Shapes and Forms streams, and then this on Saturday. Although, of course, this weekend, because I'm doing all solo shows, it's this twice, but, you know. You can suck my thunderhead. I always forget about the Lance thing. Was doing so well before he did that, too. Oh well. Do we have a key? No. Let's try and find the secret room, because that's probably what's got the key in it. Oh. Or not? Was it in the shop? It was in the shop. I'm down. Let's see. Okay, we got a damage increase. We got a sword with heavy and bloodlust. I don't really know what that does. A Vulcan with split and triple. That seems interesting. Vulcan with freeze and swarming. That also seems pretty interesting. And a laser with consecrated and black blast. You know what? Let's do it. I'll take the sword. Like I said, we're gonna try to not stick with any one weapon for too long, since we took the salvage perk upgrade, whatever you want to call it. What is a perk but an upgrade anyway? You guys ever realize that, like, sometimes different... Ooh, shit. Ah, but I really want Blink, though. I would like to take an artifact, but Blink is too good to pass up. Like how certain terminology will displace other terminology, even though they mean the same thing. One that I have realized ever since I started using Discord is that now a lot of people say PFP, which I guess is short for profile picture, instead of avatar, when talking about the little, like, you know, icon next to their name on a forum or in a chat room or something like that. And I always just thought that that was interesting because those words mean the same thing. It's just one's kind of fallen out of favor for whatever reason. I've already forgotten how I even got on this tangent, so that's good. I think I might just go to bed after the stream today. Or I'll watch TV, I don't know. I still say Evie, but yeah. So do I. Although I've run into the occasional person that when I say that they don't actually know what I mean, which makes me feel about 5,000 years old. I've never heard anybody say that. It seems to mostly be a Discord thing, more than anywhere else, but I see it around Twitter and such too. Actually, on Tumblr, you hear them say icon a lot, which is one that I'm more familiar with. Am I getting old? That's the same question that I asked myself when I started realizing that that was a thing. Alright, what do we got here? Vulcan with a ricochet and a line, and a sword with heavy and disrupting. Let's, take the ricochet. Lucha Lucha. Yeah, I didn't realize this was still alive. Oh, now I feel smart. I don't know if I can... Yeah, I totally can dash through enemies. I don't know why I thought I couldn't. Not that it helped me very much there, but, you know. Ick. There we go. Yeah. Wait, how do I get that? There we go. Okay. There we go. You are trapped in a time vortex. Okay, more weapons. Peruse the selection here. A Thunderhead with quick charge, Fireball with chain lightning, a Laser with freeze, and a Fireball with infested. Let's try to get think I'd rather have this one. Because I don't value the anti-whatever enemy type ones too much. Of course, I immediately get a boss that only spawns a few minions, but that's okay. Balrog wannabe. Let's go. There we go. Hey, a damage increase. You need anything here? Ooh. Huh. I almost never buy weapons, but that's tempting. Triple giant consecrated sword. Yeah, you know what? Sure, whatever. Let's do it. I'm gonna take a time bomb, too. Jeez, this thing looks like I've got like a sunflower petal coming out of the side of my ship. I know I said I was gonna, like, try to switch up my weapons a lot, but also, this seems really good. What bullets, right? Maybe I'll stick with this one. Consecrated doesn't do much for me, but the fact that it's giant and fires three blasts at once is pretty good, I think. I also can't get over how ridiculous it looks, really, which is also a positive in my book. Now, if it had had quick instead of consecrated, it might be the worst weapon. I also keep saying consecrated instead of consecrated. Not from consecrate. 100% exorcism, 100% kids. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point. I should watch the new episode of Further Than the Universe later. Yeah, okay. Sure. Let's do this, then. Okay, it's gonna be the Devourer. I know what that means. Jeez, it's like a windshield wiper. Alright then. Well, I managed to get hit like 4 times in that last bit there, which kind of dampers the experience a little bit, but that's okay. Let's go. Actually might end up having to replace this anyway, because running low on health. We can use it for the rest of this floor, at least I think. A pulsar with freeze and a line. It's not bad, but you know. What do you got? Revolver with Chain Lightning and Freeze, and a Vulcan with Homing and Triple. This seems pretty good, actually. So, farewell, Giant Sword. You served me well. Let's go. Stealth, second wind, or plating. Take plating. What? Huh. I don't think I've ever seen that weird, like, jelly enemy before. I don't know. Oh, I guess you can't gamble anymore if you win the weapon. Okay. Good to know. Alright. New hats for my ghost pet up in the between runs room. Now, why would I come in here? Not the smartest person at times. Alright, well, now we have some health back, which is good. I'd like to find the armory so we can get even more if possible. What's this? Try to get that damage upgrade later. What? Guess I just have to wait till it comes through the portal, huh? Yeah. That's not what I meant to do. I think I might call it after this run, actually, even though it is a little bit early. I'm getting to the point where I'm, like, not able to play competently. Or even, like, base competence. Like, you know, not accidentally hitting the bomb button when you mean to bring up the map screen. Sword with reflective and infested. Ooh. Yes, please. Triple. Ooh, baby, a triple. Okay, I need to find one more mini boss. I guess this works. It's a little weird. What do we got here? Focus, auto bomb. We need auto bomb, definitely. That's some good stuff right there. Where's the second? I guess over here somewhere would be a decent place to look. Yeah, there they are, in the next room over. Okay. I'm really liking this triple razor thing. I'm gonna try to hang on to this one for a while. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh god, it's the firewall again. Wait, you can break these? Huh. I never knew that. Learn something new every day. Usually it's something, you know, useless, but sometimes it's something useful, like how to be better at a video game. It's what we call a joke in the industry. Wow, that was actually really easy. Not something you get to say about the firewall very often. Did I blow this open yet? I did. In fact, that's the weapon that I'm using now. Right. We're gonna need to, like, make a beeline to a weapon thing, actually, because 95 is not going to last for too long with this particular weapon. Make joke. Yes. That is what I do. Play Videogame and make joke. Ouch. This looks like a more fun version of Enter the Gungeon. I don't know. They have enough in common that I guess you could make the comparison, but I think this is a little bit more faster paced, whereas Gungeon runs tend to be pretty long, especially when you get to the you know, like the quote-unquote post-game stuff. So far, at least, I've never had a run of this take longer than, like, I don't know, half an hour. I desperately do not want to get a new weapon, but I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to hang on to this thing. Should also stop going in there, because I'm going to run into it and then accidentally break it open. Then I won't have much of a choice, will I? But I mean, really, this thing just clears a room like nothing else. Alright, yeah, we gotta go replace it. Alright. Pulsar with piercing and chain lightning, that could be okay, and a railgun with homing. Never mind. Yeah, Gungeon runs tend to be too long. I kind of agree. That and, like, Isaac, if you're trying to do delirium stuff, is another. There's another one where I would argue they kind of take a bit too much, or more time than they probably should. Now, granted, I don't know if there's some, like, ultra double secret rare super chocolate path that you can take in this game that makes it then take like 3 hours to finish one run. It's very possible, but you know, I don't know. I love Isaac, and yes, that's true. Oh, so do I. It's like one of my favorite games of the past decade, at least, if not ever. But that is definitely a truth about Isaac, is that the runs can kind of drag a little bit. Even when you're winning. When you're losing, they can take forever. Unlock a seal and face death. Okay, I'm going to really quickly go take a break, and then when I come back, we're going to fight this guy. Check out that pause screen. let's strap in. And let's get ready to fight this skeletal so-and-so. This will be interesting. I have fought this guy before, and he completely wiped the floor with me. But I was also not nearly as well equipped as I am right now. So, the Renegade. Renegade what? I could not quite tell you. Maybe just like Renegade in the Mass Effect sense. Accidentally brought up the map screen. That was brilliant. Huh. Not only did we win, it actually went rather well. What? What the fuck was that about? Alright. I am shaken and also stirred. We actually have to fight 2 more mini-bosses to unlock the actual end floor boss. That's something. This is my favorite Toho boss. Actually, honestly, the use of like black and red bullets kind of reminded me more of Gungeon than anything else. Although I'm sure there's statistically there has to have been black and red bullets in Toho at some point by now. Now here's the sucky part. I'm almost out of ammo, and we still have to fight the final boss yet. Did this place have weapons for sale? No. And I already, yeah, this is where I got the railgun. What a quandary. Well, at least we had decent damage. There would be something poetic about beating the final boss of the game with just the default Vulcan, but I'm also, you know, I'm not deluded enough to think that I'm actually good enough to do that. So, oh, here we go. Fireball with homing, triple, and backblast. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Now, I wish I had a couple more hearts, but, you know. Let's go. I'm also out of bombs, which is scary. Should be blinking more often than I am. I'm done. Yep. The Overlord is not a joke. Yep. And hey, we can unlock this now. It doesn't have anything to say about the seat we just bought, I guess. Okay. I think that'll do it for tonight. 2:45 is not quite as long as I would have liked to have gone, but I'm getting kind of tired. If you are not already, you can follow the channel to see when I go live. Also follow me on Twitter. Various other social media links you can find down below the viewing window. If you'd like to support the channel, you can subscribe either with your own money for any amount you so desire, or you can subscribe using Twitch Prime, which is a benefit that you get from having Amazon Prime. So, I will be back here again same time tomorrow, about 9 to about 12 EST. I will be playing Super Mario Black Candles, the weird and wonderful fan game by personal acquaintance in the Pole XG. So yeah, come check that out. And that's about all. Thank you for the stream. You're welcome for the stream. Yeah, that's about all. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night. And have a pleasant tomorrow.